Let's see. Hi again. I've got this another AI generated image of this mouse lady in a beautiful spring hat, and it's a lovely image, but I really wanted it in a different color. So here we're going to do another project of doing some editing of an AI image. So let's start with the basics. Let's store a copy of that because we want to come back to it later. And I'm going to also copy it into the swap image. It's like drawing on the back of the canvas. You get there with the little S swap icon up in the top corner. And since we stored this in the dock, we can just click on that to bring it back into the that other image, that other buffer or area in on the canvas. It's kind of like a working area. So I will now go back. You won't see it, but I have gone back to that. And I will just go ahead and adjust the hue saturation value to what I want. I happen to have that right where I want it already. Hit OK. And all we have to do now is restore the color of the face and the flowers and that sort of thing. So that should be simple. I'll go to an airbrush, like 100 is fine as the default. And I will go to mode and rub through, and you can find out what this rub through does. And you can see as I move the mouse around, you can see the a little bit of the original showing through. It'll be a little more clear if I make that more opaque, and I can just start drawing with that rub through. And if I'm real careful, I shouldn't have to do anything fancy to this. I'll just restore the original. Love those green eyes, by the way. They really pop on this particular image for some reason because you have all that red in there. And there's going to be a little bit of green spill over here. Maybe we can correct that later. Somehow, I'm not sure, but off the top of my head, it's something we could deal with later. But I'm just rubbing through. As I said, this swap image, that's what rub through is. It rubs through the swap image into the current image. And I can do the same with these flowers. Gotta be careful not to bring too much of that green back in the, maybe change this opacity down so I don't have such an extreme, you know. And we're just kind of bringing the color back in. Maybe we don't want the entirety of the color. Maybe we want to keep some of that red in there because it's kind of nice, the red. So maybe you can use the lasso tool, for example, to do this, or some other means, but this will do it. Let's see, I want to keep a little bit of these. Not being completely precise. I will probably just blur this alpha selection slightly later so it blends in slightly better. It's not as hard edged. Okay, let's see what that does. Let me see. As I said, selection Gaussian blur just by 2 should be enough, and go to filter, combine with swap, mix with swap. And now we can fade in and out just as much as we want. And hit OK. I might want to grow this selection because I can see there's some red spilling into these. I want to grow this selection out. So selection, maybe feather. You can see it growing outward as I feather it, or inward as I feather it in. Not too much. Try, I want to say around 9 or so. Hit OK. Filter, combine, and right about there. So I'm not going to do the whole image, but that just gives you the idea of some of the ways you can bring that original back in here. I'm going to store a copy for that. That could be a working project. We could go and desaturate it, maybe some of these areas around this hair and stuff. Just take some of that green out, maybe there, maybe a little bit here, And it doesn't look too bad over there. Let me selection, Gaussian blur selection. Not too much, just some. And maybe just desaturate or adjust saturation. Just take a little bit of that green out, like that. It's gonna kind of got gray hairs, I guess, but we'll see how it goes. But I could live with that. Um, Maybe need to take some of that purple out there and some of that green out there. And it's just a matter of fine tuning it at that point. So that's about all I had for this tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later.